Hi, Sean with ScanButteCounty.com, September 18th, 2019. A thunderstorm rolled through Chico, which caused a quick power flicker here at the home office and threw our equipment offline for a little bit. Several listeners reached out and said, "Hey, you're offline, could you get things going again?" And I thought that this would be a good time to explain what all it takes to provide a scanner feed to the public using your own private infrastructure, not a service such as Broadcastify. I currently run 6 scanners in my home office, 5 of which are published publicly on our publicly available site, ScanButteCounty.com. I chose to do this instead of going with a service such as Broadcastify for a few reasons. One of which is that I can serve audio much more quickly than Broadcastify can. Broadcastify typically has a 2-minute delay, and my setup has about a 30-second delay. And it also allows me to be as creative as I want to be without the constraints of a commercial enterprise, which limits some of the things that they want you to broadcast. So anyway, to make everything work, we have to have an antenna on the roof for each one of these scanners. And where I live, I can't have 5 or 6 antennas on the roof. So I've invested in a device that's called a multi-coupler, which is this device here. It takes the signal from one antenna on the roof and splits it between all of the scanners in the radio room and does not allow them to interfere with each other. So from the antenna, you feed the signal into the scanner itself. These scanners that I run are the Uniden Bearcat 125 ATs. They're analog scanners. They don't receive digital signals. They cannot receive trunked signals, but they are a good solid analog scanner which receives the majority of the traffic provided by our local emergency services. Most services here are still running analog radios. So from the scanner, the audio goes out through a cable into a little USB sound card, which is plugged into this device here. This device here is actually a full-featured 64-bit Windows 10 fanless silent computer. It runs at about 1.5 gigahertz with 4 gigs of RAM, and I want to say there's a 32 gig solid state hard drive inside this little mini computer, but this is a full-featured Windows 10 computer that's connected to my home network via Wi-Fi, which is what that antenna is there. This little device here is a solid state hard drive. I'm recording the audio that's coming through the 2 scanners feeding that radio or feeding that computer right there. So if I hear something hot, I can log into this little hard drive and listen locally to what's been recorded. This little computer digitizes the signal from these 2 scanners that are hooked up to it and sends that digitized signal over my home internet connection to a server, a dedicated enterprise level server, which happens to be hosted in Kansas City, Missouri. And that server is a Dell Dual Xeon E5 with 96 gigs of RAM, a couple of 500 gigabyte solid state drives, a gigabit port running CentOS 7 software. That big server that I call it, the dedicated web server in Kansas City, actually has 20 physical processors, and it's running Shoutcast radio broadcasting software, which is then sent all the way back to the ScanButteCounty.com website, where you can push the play button and listen. So coming from the antenna to the scanner to the local, what I call the streaming server and digitized, sent all the way to Kansas City, Missouri, and then shot all the way back to you wherever you're listening, takes about 30 seconds from the call to when you hear it. That's pretty impressive when the big player out there, which is Broadcastify.com, typically has a 2-minute delay from receive to what you hear on your home computer. So I thought I'd give you the rundown on the equipment, some of the equipment that I have here in the home office / radio room. I may put some links on the info on this video so that you can get some more insight on the equipment that I'm running. But that's the gist of how it works. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me via text or email or leave a comment here on the video. And thanks for listening.